Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in rockin Milpitas. Every Wednesday's New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read, because that's what comics are, they're fun to read. Gotta start with the Marvel guys this week. Look at this giant old stack. Some of my favorite things to talk about today, like 2099. Way back in the day, they launched Spider-Man 2099, Doom 2099, etc., etc. Ravage 2099 was one of the first books Stan Lee had written in a long time. 2099 has always been a big deal to Marvel fans. They're kicking it back out. You can read more about this one in our newsletter this week. Some marketing genius decided that 80 years ago was the kickoff of Marvel. 80 years from now is 2099. So hey, let's have a little fun. Good stuff there. And Annihilation, another one of my favorite events from years gone by. Annihilation was the huge outer space event that went on before House of M and all that other kind of stuff took off. Really cool. Marvel's always had really great outer space adventures, and Annihilation gets back to that. Nova right there on the cover. If you were reading comics, I don't know, in the early 2000s, you love some Annihilation. If you like Silver Surfer or Thanos or any of those guys, you're going to want to check out Annihilation. Great stuff. Absolute Carnage #5 wraps up the previous huge thing going on with Marvel these days. Everybody loves Carnage. Everybody's been following this one. This one, along with Absolute Carnage Captain Marvel, like I say, it kind of rounds out the whole thing. If there's any of that you missed, we've got Black Cat packs for all the little spin-off series. We've got Black Cat packs for the main series. So, like I say, if any of that got by you, pick up some of those packs and check that out. It's all been pretty fun stuff. Excalibur #2 and Marauders #2 continue the X onslaught of the Marvel Universe. All kinds of new X books rolling out. Encouraging everybody to check out X-Men, Excalibur, X-Force, this Marauders, all the good stuff. It's always fun, sort of like those Image first issues. Always fun to check out new issues, new X books, new launches of whole franchises. X fans are really happy these days, so if you haven't been checking any of that out, you might want to. Deadpool gets a new #1 this week, because everybody loves Deadpool and everybody loves new first issues, which is good a time as any to mention Gwenpool Strikes Back, because everybody loves Gwenpool. Amazing Spider-Man goes along with your 2099 books. If you haven't been following this one, you've really been missing out on one of the best books in comics. This is as good as Spider-Man's been in a long time. So go back as far as you want with this Spencer run, or just pick up these recent 2099 issues. Good time to be a Spider-Man fan. That one, and the second issue of Amazing Mary Jane. Every Spider-Man fan agrees that Mary Jane has deserved her own title for a long time. So that one's a lot of fun. Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Velocity round out your Spider books for the week. Immortal Hulk #27. I love talking up Immortal Hulk. This is one of the best books in comics, one of the best renditions of Hulk that there's been probably since the Peter David run. Really great stuff going on here. Great stories, great art, really dark, but still maintains that Hulk hero element. Pick up the reprint of the first issue, grab that first trade, jump in at #25, jump in on this current issue, wherever you got to get into an Immortal Hulk. That's really good stuff. I'm always saying, not traditionally the biggest Hulk fan, but I've been loving this series, so don't let that one get by you. Avengers. Everybody knows Avengers is my favorite title. This is your jump-in point with the new Star brand. Cool stuff there. Captain America #16, my other all-time favorite title. You know I always talk up Cap, but this book, like Spider-Man, like a lot of Marvel stuff right now, is as good as it's been in a long time, and worth it just for those amazing covers. Great stuff. Captain Marvel, the other captain of the Marvel Universe. This one's going to be huge. I hope this one's already on your list or in your box, or I hope you're already in line at your favorite comic shop, because otherwise you might miss this one. I'm not going to be the one to tell you why. King Thor and Loki gives you a double dose of Asgardians in 1 week, which is always fun. And Tony Stark Iron Man, continuing the Ultron agenda, wraps up your Avengers-esque books for the week. Good bunch of books for me this week. And Strike Force is one that you guys might not know about. It's been flying under people's radar, but it's a new title. It's really, really, really awesome. There's Dr. Doom right on the cover. What more do you need? Pick up the first issue and it will definitely suck you in like I did. If you like sort of the dark magic side of the Marvel Universe, you definitely want to check this one out. A little like Savage Avengers, sort of your dark heroes doing cool things. Fun stuff there. And Arrow rounds out your main Marvel Universe stuff, but there's always more Marvel to talk about, like Conan the Barbarian. This is the main of the 3 Conan titles for all of you guys who like the barbarian action. And Star Wars number 75, your last issue of the core title. Don't worry, it will be relaunched again just a little further down the timeline. This wraps up the whole series has been bridging the gap between episode 4 and episode 5. Obviously, it says Destination Hoth right there on the cover. We all know what happens there. This series has been really, really great. Been pushing you guys from the very beginning to check out all the different cool stuff that Marvel does with their Star Wars line. If you haven't taken my word for it, pick up this last issue and be on the lookout for the first issue of the next series that will take place right after Empire Strikes Back. Great, great week from the Marvel guys. Huge week for the DC guys too. Been talking a lot about their acetate covers. Acetate covers are these cool, shiny things. Then when you open them up, you get a different cover on the inside. One story, another story. Super cool. I know people who were around in the 90s like to make fun of these cover enhancement things. I think they're a lot of fun. I think it just sort of accents the storytelling, which is always cool. This is the one for Aquaman. This is the one for Supergirl. There's one for Nightwing, one of my favorite Bat titles, one of my favorite Bat characters, one of my favorite DC books. One for Teen Titans with the daughter of Lobo there on the cover. If you didn't know that Lobo had a daughter, you're like 20 issues behind on Teen Titans and you really got to catch up. I showed you the inside of the Aquaman just to show you how it all works. I don't want to spoil all the cool little stories for you. So get into your shop, open up all those acetates. It's fun stuff like this one for Batman Superman number 4 with the cool little victimized Robins there on the cover. Like I say, I'm all for these cool cover enhancements. Just makes comics more fun. And then back to the normal stuff. This is Batman 83. You know we talk up this book every other week. You know we talk up Tom King. We're always talking about this one in the shop and on the podcast. We love this run. It's almost over. This is number 83. Number 85 will be the last one. If for some reason you're one of those holdouts or if you're one of those Tom King haters, you really got to fix your attitude because this book's awesome. Go back to all the way back to Volume 1 or pick up Volume 4, The War of Jokes and Riddles. Like I said about Immortal Hulk, jump in anywhere you want to, but make sure you follow this run. It's really going to be one of the all-time greats. Really, really excited to see how all that wraps up. Scarab is your infected one-shot for the week. This is your dark blue beetle, I suppose. That's your Year of the Villain book. Justice League, one of the biggest books DC has these days. This is where all this Year of the Villain stuff started. There's a few holdouts, a few grumbles and mumbles about this Justice League. I think it's really great. I think Justice League is everything that it should be. All the big villains, all the big heroes, a lot going on in this title. I always say if you can only read one comic a month, Justice League should be the book you read because it's got everybody and everything in it. Flash Forward continues out of the Heroes in Crisis stuff that's been going on in the Flash because everybody loves the Flash. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen has Jimmy Olsen driving the Batmobile on the cover. Why do you even need to read the other 22 pages? That's worth $4 right there. Jimmy Olsen driving the Batmobile. Super awesome. Now, are you ready for the big guns? This is the next Black Label awesomeness with The Question. The Question is one of my all-time favorite guys. The Question is maybe my favorite Steve Ditko character. Take that, Spider-Man fans. Question is super cool, and it's really great to see him in a Black Label comic. I like the mature reader aspect of anything with The Question. Great stories, great art. Can't say enough about this. Really digging all this Black Label stuff. So, like I say about a lot of things, definitely worth picking up this first issue. If you don't know anything about The Question, you definitely need this book. If you're a casual fan, if you're a sincere fan, you totally need this book. I mean, come on, oversized book about The Question. How many Question books do we even really get? He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse. A little like Captain Marvel, this one's totally going to sell out today, so I hope it's already on your list or in your box. If you're an 80s kid, you love some He-Man, the B cover, the Skeletor cover of this book is incredibly awesome. You'll have to dig that one up yourself. And Lucifer is your Sandman Universe, formerly known as Vertigo Book of the Week, because you know we love us anything some Sandman Universe. Great week for the DC guys. Speaking of Sandman Universe, American Gods from Neil Gaiman is our Dark Horse Book of the Week, because we love anything Neil Gaiman, anything American Gods, anything Dark Horse like this one, or the Umbrella Academy Christmas Special. Yes, it's that time of year when comics likes to start kicking out the Christmas specials. When I was a kid, Christmas specials always came out in like February. We never really understood why. But all these years later, they finally got their schedules on track, and here you go, the first one of the year from Umbrella Academy. Good stuff. Ice Cream Man is our Image Book of the Week, because we love us some Ice Cream Man around here. Horror anthologies in the wacky Image style. Fun stuff there. Marked is probably your Image Book of the Week. And Olympia, along with Heart Attack, are your first issue Gotta Have It Image Books of the Week, because there's always a first issue Gotta Have It Image Book of the Week. Always encouraging you guys to grab them, because when they're gone, they're gone. Vampirella is my Dynamite Book of the Week, because I love me some Vampirella, Red Sonja, Warlord of Mars, all the great things that Dynamite does with their licensed property stuff. This isn't the cheesecakey kind of stuff from the 90s. This is the cool horror sci-fi stuff that Vampirella was always meant to be. Good stuff there. Star Trek Discovery is your IDW Book of the Week, because IDW does a great job with all of that Star Trek stuff. Once in Future is my Boom Studios Book of the Week. These are the folks that gave you Wicked and Divine over at Image. Love me some Boom Studios. Really digging this book. I turned onto it at Comic-Con and have been poring over every issue ever since. Good stuff there. Rye is your Valiant Book of the Week. Love me some Rye. I go all the way back to original stuff, original Magnus Robot Fighter flip book to get my first appearance of Rye. A lot of talk about Rye number 0 these days because of this guy. This is your latest issue of Bloodshot. If you don't know much about Rye or about Bloodshot, if you don't know the connection between Rye and Bloodshot, you've got some homework to do before the movie comes out. Two of my favorite non-Marvel DC characters right there. Been a Bloodshot and Rye fan for a long, long time. Soulfire is your Aspen Book of the Week, because I always like to push Aspen and Soulfire and all the great stuff they do, the great job they do keeping Michael Turner's stuff going. Great week of stuff, and a lot of great stuff for the all ages too. This is Archie and Friends Travel. Just a reminder that Archie still does all of the all-ages stuff that we've been loving for 80 years. Been talking up all the other Archie stuff that they do in their mainstream lines because it's awesome. But like I say, just wanted to throw this out there to say they still do Archie and Friends and the cool digests and all the lighthearted, fun stuff that they've always done. Disney Comics and Stories. Speaking of the stuff they've always done, always appreciate the great job IDW does keeping Disney comics out there. Like Frozen. This is your prequel to the new Frozen movie. If I hold it up long enough, you'll start singing the song. Marvel Action Black Panther. Ooh, look, I grabbed 2 copies. That's how cool it was. Marvel Action Black Panther is your IDW teaming up with Marvel Comics to do their whole all ages line. I love this one. I love Avengers and Spider-Man and Captain America. I'm sorry, Captain Marvel, all the other great ones that they do. Star Wars Adventures. You've got the young reader in your life or just looking for something light and different. That's totally awesome book to pick up. Lots and lots of great books to pick up. So check those shipping lists. Make sure you get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to talk about the Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, whatever they call that, Sunday, Cyber Monday, all that good stuff. We've got a huge sale going on all week long, all weekend long. Stuff 50% off, 75% off, 25% off, all kinds of big sales. Go to the events page at black-cat-comics.com for all the info on all the different things. It's going to be a ton of fun. Make sure you get down, do your Christmas shopping, pick up something for yourself, pick up something for all the friends and family, maybe even your arch enemy. It's that time of year. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at black-cat-comics.com. Check out the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. Check out the podcast at soundcloud.com. Or just get on down here to the good old brick and mortar in rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.